Hello, everyone. I am happy to announce that the M has done it again, and there is now a sequel just recently posted to the Super Sudokoid. So we just, well, we'll say finished in quotes because there was one rule at the end I did not understand, but I think we were literally one digit from finishing the Super Sudokoid. And maybe by the time this is posted, someone will have in the comments explained what the rules were supposed to be to that part. But anyway, I enjoyed that immensely. And so let's have a look at this. So this is actually 16 9x9 grids varied together. So we're going to look at what the rules are. Tristan informs me you would all like to hear me dramatically read the lore, that is very important to you all. So let me know in the comments if that's true, but I will dramatically read the lore for you, and you can beg me to stop in the comments, but blame Tristan, not me, for deciding to do this. While cruising through hyperspace, as one does on occasion, your radio suddenly picks up a distress signal from a nearby solar system. The planet it originates from isn't on your star chart, but your ship's computer is adamant that this is none other than the lost home world of the ancient Puzzlo race, known for their penchant for intricate puzzles and deadly superweapons. With trepidation, you set course to land. Okay, so it gives you a bunch of things. So there's a link, by the way, if you want to do this in the comments. There is a link where you can have a look at it. And if you do this, you should make sure that all the settings match what you're supposed to do. Tristan claims he's done that for me already, and I'm not going to double check them. So if it turns out they're wrong, well, blame me for being lazy and not checking them. Okay, so we go through now. So this is a dynamic expanding puzzle. More cells, rules, and story segments will be revealed as you play. Okay, so we've got normal Sudoku rules apply separately within each sector, but other rules may span multiple sectors. So that's already got my interest piqued, because we have not done this as a sort of like a samurai or gatai puzzle about overlapping grids, and instead we've got sort of adjacent grids. Okay, so walls. Purple cells separated with a border are wall cells. They do not count as part of the grid, and Sudoku rules do not apply to them. So that's these. If I can, by the way, zoom in so that you can look at this, because this is presumably the grid I'm meant to be looking at. So we've got some purple cells down there. Okay, so what does Sudoku rules do not apply to them mean? Meaning that some rows, columns, and boxes will have fewer than 9 digits in them. Do note that if any other clue applies to a wall cell, that cell still needs to contain a digit that satisfies that clue. So I'm guessing that means like this cell could be a 7, even though there's a 7 up there, because the Sudoku rules don't apply to this. Or it could contain no digit, I guess. That's not 100% clear to me, but we'll fake it and just go with it and do our best, and eventually it will become clear, hopefully. The HUD. The area to the right is your HUD. It'll be updated with new information as you progress through the puzzle. Click on any revealed HUD cell to update the description with information on that particular story, rule, or boss. I like this, that they've sort of removed the interaction between the rules and the grid, and so you only get it by clicking over here, which is much nicer than the old version. Bosses. There are a few bosses scattered throughout, such as this fellow. Once you've managed to place a digit in a boss cell, the HUD will be updated. Click on that cell to get a link to a separate boss puzzle. Solve it to defeat the boss and progress in the main puzzle by placing the updated digit in the boss's HUD cell. Okay, so that's slightly different than the previous version. If you were with us for the previous version, we need to like use Sudoku to figure out that digit. Okay. Yellow circles indicate points of interest. If you fill in a circled cell, check the HUD for story updates and new rules. I wonder if that's what yellow circles were in the previous one, because in the previous one, I never figured out what yellow circles were. Pink cells, which, by the way, are different from purple cells, even though they're the same color. those are of purely cosmetic value. Please do not put cosmetic decorations in your puzzles. I know that makes me sound old and that I'm from like some sort of like Paleozoic era Sudoku person, but don't put cosmetic stuff in your puzzles. That is just, that's not what puzzles are for. And then hints. If you get stuck and need help figuring out what to do next, click on the top right corner to access a secret list of vague objectives for each story moment. Top right corner. I'm not going to try clicking, but I'm going to guess it means that cell. So I'm going to click just a second and then see. Okay, that does not seem to be it. So who knows? Anyway, let's have a look at, what the rules we already know are. So a lot of the rules here are going to be things that we know. And so one thing I did wrong in the previous one is I used that I knew what a black dot was going to be before I actually got to black dots. I'm going to try not to do that again, but it's very possible I will do it again. Okay, so white dots are white dots. Digits separate on them are adjacent. Digits along a green line differ by at least 5. Walls are not part of the Sudoku grid. Digits may repeat here. So these are just like excised from the whole Sudoku grid. And so you can see here we get additional information. So here for the walls, for example, Sudoku rules do not apply to purple wall cells. They may contain any or no digits. Formally, the Sudoku constraint of the sector is satisfied if no row, column, or box contains repeated digits, excluding all wall cells. So basically, I like it as saying they're just not part of the grid. Do note that if any other clue applies to a wall cell, the cell must contain a digit that satisfies the clue. Okay, we've got our German whisper lines and our crappy dots. Okay. So with that, I think we can endeavor to contemplate this grid where we've got a gazillion digits. I guess the first thing I see here is that these two cells are a 7-9 pair because 7 and 9 need to go into this box. However, 9 can't go here because it would place an 8 below it. So actually, this is a 7 and this is a 9. And now 7 can't go next to 8, so it's got to go next to 6. Let's see. So this is a 7 or a 9 by virtue of being next to an 8. This is a 4 on a German whisper. These vines are really, they've gotten a lot of growth on them. Anyway, this needs to be at least 5 away from 4, so it can only be a 9, which actually makes that a 7 as well, I see. Let's see. Can I do more Sudoku-y stuff? Like, I know there's a 5 up here, and 5 can't go in a German whisper. Okay, I just know what this digit is. Why don't I do that? This digit needs to be at least 5 away from 9, which makes it be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not 2 or 3 because there's a 2 or a 3 in the box. This is your first German whispers deduction. If you've not done German whispers before, it can't be a 4 because this would also need to be a 9, and that would be too many 9s in the row, column, and box. So this is always a 1. Okay. By the way, if you're doing this for the first time, you can always click the check button to make sure that you haven't screwed up anything, so that you don't inadvertently end up like ruining your life by virtue of having done that. Okay. I'm going to look at this white dot next. I don't know why I'm doing this in a very haphazard way. This white dot, like all white dots, needs to have an odd digit, and that odd digit can only be 1 or 3. However, it can't be 1 because there's a 2 in the row. So that odd digit is 3, which means it goes with the even digit 4 because it can't go with a 2. Okay, and so this number is adjacent to a 3 or a 4. Well, it can't be adjacent to a 4 because then this number would have to be a 5. So, in fact, just to say that again more carefully, if this is a 4, this would be a 3 and this would be a 5, but that doesn't work. So this has got to be the 3. That's the 4. And now that's the 2. 4 again only goes next to 9. Let's see. I see one of these as a 1, just for the box by virtue of the fact that this 1 looks crossways at this box. Let's see. Oh, I can't quite corner mark 9 in these boxes because these boxes have some wall cells in them, so I have to be a little bit careful. Of course, I know this is a 1 or a 3 by virtue of the fact that it's consecutive with 2. This is a 1, 2, or 3 by virtue of the fact that it's next to a 9 on a German Whispers, but it is not 1. This is happy to tell me. Okay, this digit is at least 5 away from 1, so that makes it at least 6, but it can't be 7 or 9 by multiple reasons, actually. I've got a couple places where I've only got sort of 3 digits left. In fact, actually, this could have been my first deduction if I wanted, actually. Where does 5 go in row 7? 5 in row 7 can't go on a green line because to get to 5 away from 5, you need to go down to 0 or up to 10. So in fact, this was always going to be a 5, and that was going to be a 6. And so now this digit is the 1, 2, or 3 that is left in row 7, but it's not a 2 or a 3, so it's a 1, which actually gives us all of those. Occasional check for sanity. Okay, this 7 is next to a 1 or a 2, which means that this digit over here in this next grid is a 2 or a 3, by the way. This is a 6 or an 8. This is a 7 or a 9. But note, I don't know anything from Sudoku from this grid because it's a completely different grid. I wonder how visually noisy this is going to be to try and parse, or if it's going to be easy for me to mentally keep track of what's in what grid so that I don't inadvertently scan across grids. This is a 7 or an 8, by the way, by virtue of the fact that it's at least 5 away from 2 and it's not 9. And this digit's consecutive with a 7 or 8, but it's not a 6 or a 9, so this digit's also a 7 or 8. So I'm down to a 50-50 to fill in the boss cell. That's pretty good. I was going to fill in this triple as well, and I see actually I don't have to do that because I can actually ask myself where 8 goes in this box. I haven't put 1 yet, so it has to go there. So these are from 1 and 6. Are the digits that I have left. So that's the 1 and that's the 6, which makes that the 8, which makes that the 7, which makes that the 8. And so I have now, I believe, unlocked a boss over here. I don't know if I should do the boss now or if I should try and fill in the rest of this grid. What do you think? I guess I'm going to call that a good first video? Question mark? Is it? I don't know. Maybe I should do some more. Okay, I'm going to fill in more over in this grid, and then we'll do the boss puzzle next video. But I don't know how much we can fill in, but we'll see. I do see that I can fill in a 6 here. So these digits are 4 and 5. This digit is just known. It seems to be a 4. This digit is just known. It seems to be a 5. This is a known triple of 1, 2, and 3, it would seem. Let's see. This 1 is always going next to a 6 or a 7 because 8 and 9 are gone, but also 7 is gone. So actually, this is just always a 6. This 9 can't go next to a 4 because of the column. So this is always a 1, 2, or a 3. That's not a 1 because of the box. I don't know anything about purple cells. Well, this box is not going to have a 5 in it, I can tell you that much. Okay, what can these digits be? I'm going to just fill these in and just contemplate this for a second. They can certainly be 2, 3, 4. Can't be 5, 6. Could be 7. Can't be 8 or 9, except that one can't be 7 either. And these digits can be 1... but not 2, 3. They can be 4 or 5, not 6, 7, 8, and they can be 9, except that one can't be 9. Doesn't quite get me to a quadruple like I had fantasized that it might if I was lucky. And this one I think can be like basically anything at once. It can be a 1, a 2, a 3. Can't be a 4 or 5. Can't be a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or 9. Okay, so actually, no, sorry. Actually, this one was useful because that actually gets me a 1, 2, 3 triple. Right? So therefore that's a 4 and that's a 5, which gives me a 4 and a 5 up here. So if you check, everything's fine. 4 or 5 over here. I don't know why it is that I'm obsessively checking. I don't do this with 9x9 puzzles. I know why I check like somewhat frequently in these like giant puzzles, because I don't want to get like super far ahead of myself, but whatever. We have become paranoid. I can accept that about myself. Okay, I don't think I can say anything super meaningful about this white dot as of yet. Unless I am somehow mistaken, but I don't think so. Let's see. Do I know exactly what digits are up here? Maybe that's the key. So there's a 4 in these cells and a 7 in these cells. I know that much. There's a 9 in these cells. But I don't think I have any other common digits. Oh, there's a 5 in these cells. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that yet. So I think we're going to have to leave this as our first video of this, and we'll be back soon with more Super Sudokoid, The Dark Inversion. So thank you to everyone. We'll be back next time with the boss puzzles. So bye for now.